drunk driver.
Oh, me and you, yeah, say I do. Oh, me and you, yeah, say I do. Yeah, say I do. Yeah, say I do.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Is this thing on? No drunk drivers. Part two. Hopefully you all were entertained with part one, how to get to that say I do moment. I know it was an hour long. Just break it down. That's all you got to do. But I also said, if you're not serious about yourself, then hey, it is what it is. You're going to be the one that's missing out on these jewels, on these nuggets in part one. But hopefully I can catch you in part two. And, we just going to keep it moving from there. Because I'm only going to help the people who want to be helped. If you don't want to be helped, that's all good. Do your thing. This ain't for you. Just move along. Go ahead. Don't hate. Just move along. All right. So this one I'm going to go into a little bit more in depth what I was referring to in my previous video in regards to the project woman, the hood woman, the gangster woman, right? The ghetto woman. Yeah, I know. We all know all the misnomers. I'm going to break all that down. And I told y'all, it's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. But before we get off into it, whoa, me and you. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out the song Say I Do. This is what's spearheading all this stuff, right? It's on all streaming platforms. That boy be jamming. Oh, yeah, I got something else cooking, too. I just got done with another song. Man, that song is going hard in the paint. Got to dance with it, too. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm going to show y'all. Remember I said I can show you better than I can tell you. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it right there. But, yeah, that one's going to be, oh, yeah, it's going to be one of the ones. I actually got about 4 or 5 songs done already. But anyway, this is not about music. It's going to help you get to that say I do moment. Got my notes. Y'all know when I got my notes, man. I'm going in. All right. So, to the quote-unquote hood woman, the ghetto woman, the gangster woman, the project woman. We all know about the stereotypes. I'm finna break down some of these misnomers, and I'm going to separate fact from fiction. But we all know the stereotypes. The hood woman, they're loud, they're aggressive, they're combative, they're argumentative. They wear skimpy clothing, scantily dressed, all that good stuff. Hoochie mama stuff, right? We all heard the misnomers. Now, I'm not saying that some of this stuff is not true. Some of it is, but a lot of it's not. And kind of what I was saying earlier on my first video pertaining to the nerds, the quiet guys, the schoolboys, if you all are trying to get to that say I do moment, you want to expand. We've been focused on just looking in one area, thinking that this is the prototype, and you're not having success. You got to expand. People are, everybody's different, right? But at the end of the day, most people don't want to be by themselves. At a certain age, most people will want to settle down of some sorts. May not be marriage or something, but you still will want to settle down. But anyway, let's get back to the notes. So we all heard the stereotypes. Let's go back over again, and then I'm break it down. Loud. The hood woman is loud. The hood woman is aggressive. The hood woman is combative. They're argumentative. They wear skimpy clothing, and they are scantily dressed. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Y'all want to know something? Some of that is true, but guess what? They only do that to guys that are not him. Oh yeah, I had to let that sit for a minute. You see all that bad aura and those negative stereotypes that I just explained, that most of you think that this is what they only bring to the table. They only do that to guys that are not him. Mm-hmm. See, when you're him, they are respectful, they are feminine, they are loyal, they are protective, and they are nurturing. Let me say that again. When you are him, when you are him, they are respectful, they are feminine, they are loyal, they are protective, they are nurturing. These are all qualities of a wife. Why are you looking past these women? I just told, and I'm finna break it down some more. I'm telling y'all, man, boy, I've been on this earth for a little while. I done picked up on a lot of things. I talk about what I know, not what I assume or anything like that. I'm talking about what I know. Truth be told. Oh, before I get off into that, so to you nerds, quiet guys, schoolboys, y'all looking past these type of women, and I'm telling you, I'm dispelling the misnomers, and I'm gonna continue to do that, right? And I'm gonna do it in a logical fashion. These women are some of the most attractive women that's out there. Yet you are choosing not to even entertain them because society has injected these negative and false stereotypes pertaining to the quote unquote hood woman, project woman, ghetto woman, right? So I had to throw that out there. Open your mind, fool. Anyway, truth be told, and I got to keep it real, the classy, the elegant, the educated woman, these are the women that we're told to target. This is wifey material. Truth be told, the classy, the elegant, educated woman can be some of the most vicious, savage women out there. Facts. Message. I told you, when I break something down, I breaks it down. Let me say that one again. Truth be told, the classy, the elegant, the educated, right? Women can be some of the most vicious and savage women out there. I know. That came out of left field. Thing is, man, those type of women, not all of them like that, because I'm gonna save y'all for part 3, right? But right now we finna kind of work on the hood woman, the ghetto woman, right? But truth be told, man, these classy, elegant, and educated women, man, they some of the most savage ones. They words, they cut deep. Some of them are heartless. They lack empathy. And here goes something that some of the fellas, you may have heard this before. I got it done. Why can't you? Mm-hmm. They quick to throw that in your face. I got it done. Why can't you? Now, see, that is a deeper discussion. I started to add that on here, but if I would have did that, this would have probably have been a 2 to 3 hour video. But that leads to a deeper discussion. destruction of the black family. I say, it does go down that road. Uh, as to why things are the way they are, and that's why I'm doing my part to try to mend these fences, right? But to get back to the subject matter at hand, some of my most heated debates, some of my most heated arguments and discussions and disagreements came from the classy, the elegant, the educated woman. Yes, it wasn't from the project woman, the hood woman, the ghetto woman. It was from them. It was from them. I gotta call a spade a spade. I gotta keep it a buck. That's what I do here. And so to you nerds, quiet guys, school boys, open, expand, listen to your boy. Right? Now I'm not saying that all of them are perfect, because none of them are perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But at the end of the day, we're all human. We all have certain traits, right? Some people have different upbringings and all that stuff. But when you get people by themselves and you interact with them in a respectful way, 9 times out of 10, that respect is reciprocated. So you can be a hood woman, you could be a ghetto woman, you could be a project woman, but if they're a good person and you treat them with respect, they will reciprocate it. I'm telling you this. I'm not just, oh man, this is from logic or based off my theory or whatever. No, I've lived it. I told you they could be some of the most respectful and feminine and loyal and protective and nurturing women. Yet you are overlooking these women based off of these negative stereotypes. Right? And I just told you about how some of the classy, the educated, elegant women, how they get down. Oh yeah, they words cut deep. I got it. Why you can't get it done? Right? So what does that mean to be him? Let's move forward. Men, just reverse engineer my last video. That's it. Reverse engineer. If you don't know what that means, all right, just go to my last video. Go fast forward all the way to the 50-minute mark and just let it play. Around the 50-minute mark and just let it play. That's it. I'm describing him. I can't break it down any more simpler than that. So the reason why now back to the subject at hand, the reason why some of the quote unquote hood women, the project women, the ghetto women, they have these attitudes and all this stuff. So I'm not going to say they don't. Some of them do. Oh yeah, they bark. They bark and they bite. But most of the time, it's just going to be curse words. See, the classy women, oh yeah, they going to cut deep. They going to get real personal with you. Oh yeah, they real tricky. You know, they know how to cut. But anyway, some of the reason why the hood woman, the ghetto woman, the project woman, why they have these attitudes is because they have dealt with the worst of men. They have dealt with the worst of men. See, the reason why they dealt with the worst of men, because dirtbags, they know, or they feel, they can't approach the classy woman. Therefore, they think that, well, I can't get the classy woman because they're gonna deal with some type of woman. They feel they can't get the classy one, so they're gonna go over there to the quote unquote hood woman. And this is what I was saying in my last video, and I'll say it again, that look of being scantily dressed and skimpy clothing, it gives off the impression that you have little to no standards. This is why those type of men approach you, and then sometimes they may not even approach the classy women. And this is why I implore you to implement the screening process that I have been I'm breaking down in these videos, right? So let me try to put it in real time, real life format. I think I may have even said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. Think of it as everybody has a house, right? You're living somewhere. You have a house, you have a home, right? And so you have a system or something put in play to keep unwanted guests or things out of your house, which is the door, which are the windows, right? These are your entry and exit points of your house, maybe even the garage door. But let's keep it simple, just the doors and the windows. What is that? What do you think those are? What's that for, right? Now you have there. So let's keep it there. The door. So you have said house, right? Let's just say you have a house, whatever, apartment, whatever that is, and you remove the doors and you remove the windows. Same house, but with no doors and no windows. How comfortable do you think that house will be? So now every time it rains, you're going to get rainwater in your house. When it's too hot, you're letting out all the air conditioning. When it's too cold, you're letting out all the heat. You're not able to do any type of climate control. Guess what else is going to be in your house? Unwanted guests. Mosquitoes, flies, bugs, spiders, all the stuff that you do not want in your house is going to be there. Why? Because you have no screening process. You have no screening process. You're letting everything and everyone in. So think about how comfortable you will be if you're just letting anybody and everyone in. You're going to be battling unwanted guests the entire time you're in that house. So think about the mental effects that it will have on you because you don't have no screening process, right? This is what I'm saying. So the screening process this is what I'm saying is it's the vetting. So the doors to your house, the windows to your house, that's the equivalency of the vetting within dating. That's the importance of implementing a vetting process when you are dating. Because you have all of these men all in your inbox. You got hundreds of men in your inbox, right? And you're thinking just because you have hundreds of men in your inbox, oh, I got 100 guys to choose from. One of these guys got to be it. And they could be the one. But you're letting any and everything in. It becomes stressful. It becomes tiresome. You now develop a jaded perspective on men in general because you're dealing with the worst of the worst. You're dealing with the worst of the worst because they look at you and they're like, oh, she doesn't have no vetting process. They're not going to say it in that manner. But when any man and anybody feel that they can approach you, that's a problem, is what I'm saying. And because you may carry yourself in a certain way, they think that, hey, I see sex at that point. That's all they see. So just like I said in my other video, if what you're broadcasting with your nonverbal communication, and that's clothing, if you're broadcasting sex, then there's no standard. There's no qualification in order to obtain sex. All you have to have is the penis. So any man has the penis. So if that's the only standard that's being broadcasted, like, hey, the sex is being broadcasted. Hey, I got a penis. Oh, you got a vagina. Hey, we're a match. Let me shoot my shot. That's why you're getting the worst of the worst. And that's the importance. That's why it's very important to implement a vetting process. Now, throughout those hundreds, you're able to, no, 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 no. And that's another reason why I'm telling you all to move feelings to the side. Value substance. Substance over feelings. I broke that down in the first video. You may not even got to that far. Go back and watch it. Substance over feelings. That stuff is getting you all in trouble. But yeah, hopefully you all understood that analogy and you will begin to implement some type of vetting process. So, what am I trying to accomplish with this video? I'm just trying to get you to expand your range and expand your horizons. You're only hurting yourself by limiting your options. And so that's to the schoolboys and the choir guy, the nerds and all that other stuff. Even to the hood women and all that. Because you may, I got a type of man. Now, I kind of broke down on how some of the schoolboys or whatever, how they get down. So to your nerds, choir guys, schoolboys, and then the hood woman, the gangster woman, the ghetto woman. Expand your expand. You're only hurting yourself by limiting your options. All right, let's get to the second part of the video. Because I spoke about this before. Something with the misnomers. I was going hard in the paint on the hood, the gangster guys and all that. Don't worry, I got you. I told you I got something for everybody. But now I got to lift you up. So I had to add this one in here today. So to the hood guys, y'all know the misnomers. Let's get to it. They gangster. They hardcore. They're unintelligent. They sell drugs. They're good fighters, but they're bad fathers. These are some of the misnomers and stereotypes of the quote-unquote hood guy. Let's go over it one more time. I told you, man, I'm going to help everybody get to that say I do moment. Oh, yeah, we going to break it down, baby. It's different over here. And I'm telling you what I know. The hood guy, the gangster guy, right? He's gangster. He hardcore. He's unintelligent. They sell drugs. They're good fighters, but they're bad fathers. These are some of the misnomers. I'm here to tell you the truth. Not all hood guys are gangster. I'm just keeping it a stack. They're not gangster. They may act like they are, but they're not gangster. Kind of like what I said before. You treat somebody with respect, 9 times out of 10, they will reciprocate it. Even the Italian mobsters, they was some of the most known notorious rats and all that other stuff. They really wasn't keeping it gangster. Hood guys, gangster guys, you know what? They're very smart. Some of them are very, very smart. I've had combos with a lot of them. Some of them are very smart. Some of the quiet guys, the nerds and schoolboys are stupid. I'm just keeping it a stack. Yeah, they maybe they in college and doing all that. But when it comes to quote unquote common sense, some of the gangster guys, man, it don't even match. A lot of times when I have conversation with gangster guys, I'm like, dang, dude, why you going this route? You could be a CEO of this company or whatever. They got a business mind. They got all that stuff, man. So, I just hate to see when they sell themselves short. Not all of them sell drugs. They just happen to grow up in bad neighborhoods. That's it. You think that they all sell drugs just because of the area that they're in, but nah, that's not true. They don't all sell drugs. They may even act like they do just to, piggyback on the stereotype. It may get them some hood cred, street cred, and all that stuff, but nah, man, not all of them about that life. Actually, some good guys. Not all of them can fight. I don't want to use too many curse words, but I got to speak how I speak. Man, they got bitch ass mofos in every community. Quiet guys, schoolboy nerds, they got some bitch ass schoolboy nerds, quiet guys. Just like how they got some bitch ass gangsters, hood guys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just whether if you're a dog, you got that bark. That bite instead of that bark. Just bear with me, man. I told you I'm gonna lift you up. Just give me some time, man. Just watch me work. Watch me cook, man. Some of them could be some of the biggest tricks. Yeah. Just messing up the game for everybody. That's why these women, they get their head all messed up. Thinking you supposed to go on, take them on trips on the first date and all that other stuff. Yeah, it's because of you. Some of them guys be doing that, man. Hey, the Sims do that. You know, the choir guys, schoolboy nerds. We already got the reputation of being Sims, but some of you quote unquote gangster hood guys, y'all some of the biggest Sims out there. I'm just keeping it real. I know it seemed like I'm bashing, but give me a second, man. I'm gonna boost you up, man. Let me work. Let me cook. But nah, in all seriousness, some of them are great fathers. Great fathers. But because of that stigma and that negative stereotype, you all do not associate the quote unquote gangster, the hood guy, all that stuff as being a great father. There's plenty of them out there that are great fathers. Thing is though, man, sometimes they get a bad rap because some women, they use their kids as a weapon. They want to put them laws in their life. Yeah. They want to put them laws in their life. And once you're on papers, you don't have many rights at that point. Once they got you, they got you. Once you're in that system, man, it's very difficult to work your way out of it. It's not impossible. There's a lot that do it, but it's very, very difficult. And that's why I tell any man, whether he a choir guy, nerd, schoolboy, gangster, whatever, any man, if you're dealing with a woman and you think that she one of them types to quick to put them laws in your life, get away from her. Cut her loose. Cut your losses, fam. Cut your losses, man. She gonna bring you down. That's one thing I don't do, man. I don't deal with people in general. I don't deal with people who operate under that, what I call the push button theory. What I mean by the push button, meaning I'm gonna push the button if your ass don't act right. You do something out of line, we get into a discrepancy, I'm calling them laws. And especially on men who look like me. You better stay in line, boy, or I'm calling these laws. Because you know, 8 times out of 10, they're going to take your side instead of ours without even figuring out what's going on. So those people could be very, very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. And when you operate under that push button, what I call the push button theory, it actually gives me a little bit more insight to how you've been programmed. Now, I'm not saying if a man is going upside your head, he putting hands on you or anything like that. Hey, handle your business. Do what you got to do. I'm not condoning that. But y'all know what some people, you know what you're doing. Right? You know what you're doing. That's because you've been programmed to do that. It's an oppressive mindset. That's the way you've been programmed. What oppressive? Oh, what is he talking about? This is where I kind of go off the rails, but I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to bring it back to what we're talking about. See, oppression, especially in this country, I'm just going to start with, you have the haves and the have-nots. The people who have it and the people who don't have it, right? So the people who have it, they're up here. People who don't have it, they're going to be down here. And of course, we all know about, what happened way, 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 way back in the day with people who look like me, right? So it was established. Not saying it wasn't there before, because truth be told, this happened within their own ranks. But we're talking about this. So the haves and the have-nots. Anytime you have a system of the haves and the have-nots, you have to develop something to keep those people down. Keep them down. Because eventually they will try to rise up. Who's going to want to stay in those harsh environments? Nobody in their right mind. They're going to try to figure figure something out. So you have to develop a system. So even though they were quote unquote free, we were quote unquote free. You just change the rulings of the laws and all the other stuff so that now you can capture them and then lock them up and still have the benefits of the quote unquote slavery stuff going on, which is now the industrialized prison system. And so once you start, you're operating in that realm. Now you want to start targeting and picking out people who you think or feel is going to be rebellious. See, the ones that go along, get along, yes sir, boss, yes sir, boss. All right, they good. They've been programmed. You don't have to worry about them. But what about the ones that buck the system? So in this country, they have something for people who buck the system. They put them in prison. So they're going to criminalize those actions so we can get them off the streets. See, the people who are more prone to buck the system, they are more prone to be rebellious and maybe enact some type of uprising. So if you're already showing signs that you are rebellious, which can lead to somebody enacting or galvanizing the troops to lead some type of uprising, right? You want to get them out. You want to move them out the way because those are the warriors. The warriors of a war. This country loves war. So get the warriors out of the way so we can just deal with the people who go along to get along. That's where they target the hood guy. I told you, man, I got you. That's where they target the hood man, the quote unquote gangster man. When in all reality, they just doing things because it's lack of opportunity. That's it. Lack of opportunity for the most part. Man, they trying to make it. Oh, you just saying get a job. Hey, man, it's not enough jobs for everybody, truth be told. It's really not. I think if everybody in this country, I don't even think there's enough jobs for everybody to be employed. There's not. I really don't think so. Somebody can prove me wrong, but I really don't think so. Or you may have jobs for them, but it's going to be way them lower tier jobs. They definitely don't have high paying jobs. There's only, what do they always say? Only about 10% of the people make over $100,000. That let me know right there. So yeah, they targeting the future warriors. Now I'm not praising the gang violence and all the other stuff, but what scares them is that if you all get your stuff together to where you start, all right, joining forces, stop killing each other, and then standing up for something righteous. Yeah, that's why they target you all. And guess who else they target? I got you two quiet guy nerd schoolboys. See, I'm not a gangster. I never tried to be a gangster. I'm more intellectual. And I can run this. And I'm a thinker. And I strategize. Yeah. So what do they call espionage? All that. Oh yeah, that's in my realm right there. That is a sign of war. Because if I get up on here talking too much, start saying them things to where they start watching you, boy. Them folks start watching you, boy, because there's key words that's going to trigger it. That's the realm that I'm in, right? So we all need each other. We need the strategy guy, the espionage guy, and then we got the warriors, the goons, go in there and do what you got to do. No, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and get back to what I'm saying, because now I'm talking about war and all this stuff. And I'm supposed to be talking about love and how to get everybody together. But like I said, man, ultimately, some of those guys are good guys too, is what ultimately I am trying to say. And to you, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So that applies to the classy, the elegant, the educated woman. Some of you all, hey, you may need to get you one of them quote unquote gangster and hood guys. Because most of the time, the quote unquote gangster and hood guy, once he get his stuff together, what do? He go back to being, I don't say go back, but he on the quiet guy side at this point. Hey man, I done laid this down. I don't do this no more. I'm on this type of time. Yeah, they get it right. They get it right. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And like I said before, I'm just trying to get people to expand their range. Expand. Because there has been an attack, especially on people like me, on the family. More now, I see the effects of it to where the families are just broken, to where we got to change that narrative, man, where the man is not in the household and all that stuff, man. I don't like that. So I'm just trying to do my part. So if I can get people to see things in a different way and mend these fences, hey man, I'm just doing my part. But I'm just one man. But hey, while I'm here, I'm gonna do all I can do. Right? But expand. You're only limiting yourself. You're only hurting yourself when you limit your options, right? And so I'll go ahead and end right there. And part 3 is going to be more focused on the classy, the elegant woman, the educated woman. I'm going to give you some game on how to get to that say I do moment. All right? Till next time. Peace.